Looking forward to getting her on the stream. Alina, how are we?
Hello, hello, hello.
How are we
How
doing?
are
You're
you?
live and direct. I'm well. We are 2.5 hours in. I am absolutely juiced on coffee. How are you?
I'm good. I just had a call with my grandma, which was amazing.
I love
I
it.
haven't spoke with her in 3 weeks, so it was amazing.
How's grandma doing?
Grandma is doing well. She's 83. She's doing well. Grandpa is 85.
Wow.
They are they are still steady and solid.
How are they dealing with AI today?
Well, so it's funny because anytime I try to explain them what I'm building, they understand why I'm building, but in the same time they are like, why we came up to this? Like we need such a platform.
Well, here we are. I think that's a great segue into some context on you and Inaron.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's so funny.
Talk to me. Give me some context into you. Give me some context into what you're building.
Yes. All right. So, I moved here 5 months ago. Let's start with that. To London for my dreams and for my business. So it was very strategic, very intentional. Who am I? Whew, I
Big
don't
question,
know.
eh?
Big question, big question. I think on a personal level, I like to call myself a nine lives cat with Labrador instincts, which I don't know what even that means.
That needs to be in the LinkedIn bio for sure.
Exactly, yeah. I think I'm a bit of both. I'm a bit of a cat and I'm a bit of a Labrador. On a professional level, I am unicorn operator turned into a founder that loves B2C. I've been in my 20s, I've been only in unicorns, pioneers in their industries. And yeah, this is what I love. This is what I'm gonna do probably all my life, B2C for sure.
Why the shift out of the unicorns and going to start something yourself?
Um, that's a good question. I think part of it, so I would say when I was in my 20s, when I was 19, I built this NGO, which was a new branch, which is basically same as building a startup. And I think that was the first thought into my head, as in, I don't want corporates, I don't want the normal business, I don't want the conventional way. I just want to go directly into more like chaos, and you just don't know what you're doing, but you're doing things. Um, and I think it started from there. And then I told myself that in my 20s, I'm going to work only with hyper growing scale ups. And that's what I did. I moved in, this is, I think, my seventh country. Yeah. Yeah.
Seven.
And yes, and a lot of other cities as well, like in these countries. And yeah, I think it was all very strategic and intentional, but in the same time, it was not something that led me to a idea that I really loved, I would say, or that pushed me to build something. So I would say I turned the founder because of my obsession with the problem of inner on. Yeah.
What's the problem Inaron is solving?
So let's start big picture. So big
Okay.
picture.
Take me on the journey.
So, big picture, we have loneliness, which is a full epidemic, but it's very broad. Everyone talks about it. The numbers are showing there, like, yeah, 2 billion people in the entire world that feel lonely or depressed or isolated.
Can
Um,
we pause on that for a moment? Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's connected with the effects of two things. One is the speed that the world is going with so much tech. Everything is tech nowadays. We love tech. We are here and we love tech. That's why we're discussing about it. But outside, for normal people, I think people are trying, like, they are starting to get fatigue from all this tech involvement with everything, every single aspect of their lives. And second, I would say is social media. Social media, the way it's built right now, it's built for ad revenue and for attention. And of course, also, I think when it comes down to social media, it kind of rewired our attention span because of the fake dopamine and the parasocial relationships that we keep having all the time with social media.
But do you
And
not
I think,
like the serendipity of social media today, where you have these wonderful moments that pop up where you meet people online? I think the tech ecosystem is great for that. Like I get most of the guests for the show through LinkedIn, but I do end up
yes,
spending a lot of time on the platform.
yes. Yes, I think for people that are engaged in this ecosystem of tech and wanting to build in tech, it's a completely different vibe or energy than people that are outside of it. And if we think about it on a daily basis, how many people are using the connection that social media has nowadays in the way that we use it? I would say we don't consume as much as someone that has a normal, just a normal day job, everything, right? Because you are more focused to use it in a completely different way. You're also trying to produce because of social media, not only consume. And I think I would say LinkedIn is different, right? Because LinkedIn is tackling the professional connection, and if we talk about Instagram, TikTok, I mean, there are so many, Twitter, Threads, I would say like they all have different focus, but they are all focusing on ad revenue and big masses of people, or Reddit is the same, I would say. Whereas what Inner is doing, Inner On, is basically solving and is bringing the future of connection, which is the genuine and real connection. So from all those masses of people, you go into a room with just one person and is your perfect match for anything that you need in terms of defining your success. So it could be connections as a support system for your, let's say, I don't know, like phases in life where you are feeling down. So it's tackling a little bit more the mental and then emotional health. And then on the other side, it can also be friendship, and much later, it can be all types of connections. But it's all focused on genuine connection. And it comes from social science, where it says that right now, because of the big masses and the accessibility to everyone's lives, we see them and it's mirroring us, but in the same time, it's bringing a lot of insecurities because everything that you see, it's making questioning yourself and doubting yourself. Are you doing life correctly? You don't know. You look at someone else's life and pictures and you think it's perfect. So I think I would say the more negative effect it comes from the pictures and the scrolling. LinkedIn it's different, and that's what I'm tapping into. I'm tapping into the personal life and the relationship and the real connections that people need in order to deal with their daily life in terms of hobbies, habits, and basically not only stopping at online because that's where I'm disrupting a bit the model, and I think that's where I'm coming as well with a lot of passion for B2C because you can go a little bit more unconventional and you can bring other systems where you don't stick only to the traditional way of doing business. For example, in social media, ad revenue. Um, Whereas here you're not gonna have ads, you're gonna have a privacy, it can be also anonymous. So if you think about it, we are building probably the strongest and the most powerful matchmaking platform, but again focused on real genuine connection. So yeah, it taps into the masses of people, but then it brings people into a very intimate space in order to deal with their own needs and their own way definition of what is it a successful life for them. What is it for now? It might be different in 5 years. So it's all based on changes and evolution of a human life because we are all the time changing, right? Right now, I might be focused on building a business and building the best B2C social platform in the future of it. In 5 years or in 10 years, probably it's going to be the same. But in 20 years, it might be different. In 20 years, I might want to be a farmer and I might want to be, I don't know, posting and performing my poetry or, like you're all the time changing.
This is interesting. I've got so many questions. Like, one, what does this even begin to look like? Does it look like a traditional Facebook app? Do you have to reinvent the UX? Or is it sort of like AI native first and you're going to move with the medium as we go multimodal and we start using
Yeah,
glasses?
yeah, there is so there is not going to be any media and no content. So if you think about it, it's a massive
Why?
operator. Uh,
Okay.
because of the mental health issues that is bringing social media. I'm not building social media, and I'm not saying social media is gonna like we're gonna completely vein into
It's a
uh,
social app, but without
it's
the
a
media.
social app, but without the media,
So
and it
it's a
has
social operating system?
exactly. It's an OS system for human life, if you think about it, where you focus only on the things that you need in your life in order to be more successful. So that is habits, hobbies, practices. But you're not doing it alone. You're doing it with other people that are in similar phases of life or in a similar goals or dreams as you, because motivation, and I'm not gonna like I don't want to talk too much about science, but motivation
That's
is
no,
not
no, no. I need the science. You can't just give me the woo woo.
okay, okay. Motivation is not sustainable.
Why?
It's for a few people, but they are more exceptional. Um, you need discipline in your life, especially for a lot of people when they deal with their own lives and jobs. And let's think about it. Not everyone is in a job or a career that they love or they feel fulfilled in. And that's where one issue comes from. Then the second is relationships and friendships. Nowadays everything is way more transactional because we think if we see someone's pictures or if we see someone's live on whatever social media, all social media, we think we know them, but you don't. Those are just perfected and performative pictures most of the time, not always. Um,
But a lot of
and
it.
yeah, of course, that's what yeah, not all of it, but most of it, yeah. And that's where inner on is coming in, is to solve the dopamine hit, fake dopamine actually, loops where people are getting in, and give them back their focus in a way that it's social and is bringing their tribe, in a way where you can thrive together, right? Because if you think about even support is not something that has been systemized. Support is something that people always look for or craving, but behind the scenes, and you're trying to understand who could support you and who could not. But how can we support each other if we don't know each other and if we don't find the right people? So it's all about the right people and the right timing. So that's where inner on is coming. And there is also a lot of research when it comes down to socials and the parasocials effects of social media, and how this ecosystem that we're in actually makes us more nervous and it makes us more insecure about every aspect of our life. So at the end of the day, what inner on is doing is uplifting people by bringing them together with the right people, and then you focus on everything that you can repair or you want to get into your life together with other people, but the right people. How many times we heard like, I don't know, this is not a good idea, or like this wouldn't work, or you see someone trying to, I don't know, like run, but they see all these people on Strava. They're not gonna go with the people that are already on Strava because those are runners. Like if I tell someone that I run 5 kilometers, half an hour a day, they're gonna be like, oh, I would love to run, but they're gonna feel most of the time intimidated because they will think, oh, it matters the speed, it matters how fast I am, it matters where I'm going, it matters
How are you
behind it.
thinking about the interaction on the app then? Is it like a chat? Is it you start talking about or you start like posting, uploading the things that you're doing? Now, when I
Yeah,
say that, I mean like into the OS rather than
yeah,
as content. And so you're
yeah.
uploading this information and it matches you with similar people doing similar things at similar stages.
Yes, but it's a more depth into social science.
Okay.
When we think about matchmaking, so matchmaking is mostly used nowadays in dating apps.
Right.
But
But that
matchmaking,
algo's flawed, isn't it? Because it requires more women to be on the platform than men.
exactly, yes. And also, it's focusing on dating, not on genuine connection, like how people can connect actually, because there you're still performative. People put the same, I mean, I'm not gonna say the same pictures, but if you look at the dating apps and you analyze
Oh, it's
them,
the same pictures with the same prompts.
because everyone is trying to be the best sport athlete. Everyone is trying to show that they are traveling, all of these things. So you're not genuinely yourself there. So that's where inner on comes in. And with the rise of AI, which already, like, there is already tons of data when it comes down to AI and how much it impacts people's mind and their social relationships. And when I say social relationship, that's why I always say relationships. I don't mean a defined or predefined box, as in friends, acquaintances, professionals, colleagues, or romance partners, right? Everything starts from being genuine. But not everyone knows anymore how to be genuine because the distrust is there. And there is a lot of data as well showing that people nowadays, because of social media, and I'm not gonna say because of social media, because I don't necessarily think social media is bad. It's just a consequence of how the system was built. Um, because of that, people don't trust people anymore, because if we think about it, everything became a marketing platform, which on one hand is great because people have more courage to try to make money out of something that they think they are good at, or at least to learn. And um, but in the same time, the personal life, it's literally collapsing. We don't know anymore how to have friendships, relate, like better relationships when it comes down to romance as well, how to be interested in other people. So that's why inner on comes in. The AI side, which I actually don't like to say it's powered by AI, but it does have a AI
Yeah, it
side.
has to be today.
Yes, but the AI side is playing on helping people to have better conversations and to navigate struggles, or let's say more taboo topics, in a way that they can connect with other people. And then past that, of course, you can. It's a conversational room, but past that, you can also get to the actional part, to the practical well-being, because we all like to talk about well-being, but most of the time it's pretty difficult to create a system that can actually be maintained for people. So that's where inner on comes in. And another side of it, which a lot of people ask me in the beginning, oh, so it's going to be only for females, because well-being or wellness or biohacking, if we want to put it more into a masculine language, um, it's more of a women's thing. But it is. We all struggle in different ways, and we all can learn from each other, and we can systemize the way we see life and the way we can act on life. So eventually, inner on is, besides the operating system, it's building the future, the next generations, because Gen Z, they actually don't like social media anymore. There are a lot of trends as well with people buying. Gen Z, they are buying phones where where you can't access any social media, and the only one I think is WhatsApp. So they are going back to those phones that we had when we were, I don't know, like when I was probably 12 or 13. Um,
And Alina, I want to talk to you a little bit about the European ecosystem and like moving to London specifically. Why the UK? Why not go to Paris? Why not go to Madrid? Why not go to Stockholm?
yes, because you mentioned Madrid and Paris. I lived in Paris, not in Madrid, not yet.
Not yet. I love it.
Yeah, not yet. Um, Paris already has an ecosystem that is quite balanced in terms of life work. Well, I don't know, like I don't necessarily believe in the idea of balance, but let's say like more focus into personal life and having real connections with people. And same goes for Madrid, or let's say like for the Latin countries, because that's where their culture is. Like they go out, they speak with people, they like to debate, they are not afraid of, getting out on the street and like fighting for what they want and etc. So why UK? It's because of the distribution, because of the launch, because loneliness here is basic. If I remember well, it was at 46%. Actually, people declaring. So people actually that are being honest about their life and how they feel and their relationships. But think about it. UK culture is not a culture that is direct. So 46%, it's only the people that admit how they feel and how their life is with
And
relationships.
so it's hyper likely it's greater.
Exactly. So that's why very intentional for inner on. And in the same time, I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, I loved Harry Potter. So, like you also gotta trust your feelings and your intuition.
So you moved to the UK because Harry Potter was a childhood hero. I love it.
Now, second, first is inner on.
So she says. So she says. What's it been like? Like 5 months, you've completely turned your life upside down to move here, and what has the ecosystem been forgiving? Have you made the right connections in the right way, or have you realized that inner run right now is like it's desperately needed?
I mean, I see it in two ways. So one is the market for the users or for the customers, and one is the business. So is the ecosystem. The business ecosystem for B2C. Mm, I would say like so far, but I don't have a defined opinion yet. It's just 5 months, so I would say like this is my observation so far. They are not very open to B2C for sure. They are more into traditional setups and models. And compared to US, which I worked a lot with US companies or unicorns, you can see the difference. So it's a good comparison or not, I don't know, but it is what it is. That's the fact. In terms of building, so one, because Inner On is an ecosystem, but then in the same time, I need to get into the local ecosystem. I would say so far, yes. I mean, I attended, I don't know, like more than 100, and probably at this point, I have more
Which
than one.
ones have been the best?
Uh, I have a strategy.
I want no sugarcoating. I want you to call them out.
Of course, I'm very straightforward. Um, so I have a strategy.
Okay.
If I'm going to networking events, my strategy is if I really connect with three people, I call, I call it successful.
Okay.
And
Defined
I
really connect for me.
Yeah, and when I say really connect, I mean we grab a coffee. It's someone that I could partner up again, and it doesn't have to be right now, but it can be like long game vision. It's someone that could be I don't know, like try like help me learn more about the ecosystem B2C and consumer tech, which again very very different. Um, so that's my strategy. Like if I have three genuine connections, yes, I discuss with a lot of people, but that doesn't mean everything is going to transform into a follow-up coffee chat. I love one-on-ones, so I attend a lot of events, but I love more one-on-ones. I've always been a bigger fan of one-on-ones because in one-on-ones you find the problems and the needs of people and how you can help each other and how you can act on each other as well and how you can build relationships, but it needs patience, of course. It's not like it's going to work from just two coffee chats. So I would say on my side and on inner side, yes, it's going into the right direction. When it comes down to B2C, social, consumer tech, it's moving slower than I thought because of the perception, I think.
Very interesting.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if you look at it, a lot of B2C founders in London, they all went to US or even like they either did a trip to US or they moved there. So we'll see. I do think again like the UK market from a matter of the problem that Inner On is solving, it has space, a lot of space. From a matter of support system to build the Inner On ecosystem, and again the business side, not the consumer side, is different. Um, but I have to be patient. I'm an outsider as well.
You've
So
talked around which events have been great. I want three standouts.
uh,
Over those 5 months, over the 100 plus, 150 plus events that you've been to, what are the ones that you remember the most?
um, I remember like a consumer tech. Um, it was, I mean, it was more like a rotational conversation with experts from AI and also like more ethical AI, which is different. So I would say that was one. I would say that was the first one, and that was the one for me because of the niche I'm playing in. Second, um, there was one private event as well where I met with some really cool founders that are building. I'm not going to say necessarily in deep tech, but they are building very complex products. Um, and for me, it was interesting because of the complexity and
Okay.
because of like one of them actually it's also building in health, and we're almost like accountability bodies for how we develop. Yeah, we are. So I would say it was productive for me because yeah, like I met some really cool people and cool products that solve real issues. um, Third, it's funny because in my mind right now it comes only the recent ones. It almost feels like attending so many events you forget about them.
And what about all the people? Come on, I need one more.
I'm gonna say, I mean, I attended a lot of events as well with London Founder House, Plugged, but I'm not gonna say. I mean, I would say those ones are closer to me as a person just because of the connections. Um, but on the other hand, of course, like when you are in communities of founders, or again business advisors and etc., it's almost impossible to not talk about business. um, so I'll put these two just because of what they are building and the people that are they are gathering. Yeah, and the rest, I mean, it's all business and the usual networking events. um, and it's funny because I don't think about events, I think about people.
So who are
I
the
don't
top
even.
three people?
Huh?
Who are the top three people?
Told you one is the accountability founder that is building in health
What's
tech.
his name or her name?
I can give you her name after it. She's called Norman, but I don't know if
Awesome.
I pronounced it correctly. Yeah. Yeah. Second, I told you it's one advisor actually, and the third it's one investor that we had really nice conversations about B2C. But again, everything is buildable, right?
Alina, this has been so much fun. I've like picking your brain on B2C, especially after we've just had on Tanya, who's saying that it's ripping in Europe. I think I need to
Yeah.
connect the two of you. You guys are going to have a wild time talking B2C,
Right,
yeah?
I'm gonna connect with her. I think we're gonna have so much
Her
fun.
energy plus your energy plus the conversation, I think it's a recipe for success. This has been
Yes.
great. I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Best of luck with the rest of the discussions.
Appreciate it.